Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Tom Petersen with Petersen International Underwriters. And I would like to commend all of you for participating in this virtual event. I know it's not as much fun as if we're all together and networking and sharing stories, but in the era of COVID, it is the most prudent thing to do. One of the things that we miss, of course, every year that at least that I miss with all of you is participating in a yacht evening where we raise our glass and have a toast to each other. And so just in honor of that, I'd like you to raise your virtual glass with me and have a virtual toast. So, skål. Now, I'd like to share with you a story that, because I hear a lot of producers saying, well, I can't get appointments with my clients. I can't, with COVID, they won't let me see them. You don't have to see them face to face. You can see them either through Zoom or even on telephone. You have a very important story to tell. You have a very important product to protect them, their family, and their businesses. And I have a story that I'd like to share, to have you share with them. This is the Pilgrim story. This is what the Pilgrims saw when they arrived on the continent of the New World. Do you notice anything missing? Do you see that there are no towns, no stores, no homes, no businesses? So why did these people come to this new country? Food had to be cultivated and hunted, and yet they still came. It was not convenient this way, but yet they still came. Shelter had to be built. It wasn't bought, and yet they still came. Clothing was something that we had to make ourselves. Usually it was the skin of a dead animal or cloth that we imported, but we had to mend it ourselves. There were no stores to go buy new clothing, and yet they still came. Education was a personal responsibility. We had to teach our own children. We didn't send them to school, and yet they still came. There were no safety nets involved here. There were no things such as entitlement, welfare, Social Security, Medicare, employee benefits. None of these things existed, and yet they still came. Why? That's the big question. Why? And the answer is freedom. No one promised these people anything other than they had the ability to reap what they sowed. As more and more people came to this new country, communities started to develop. As people were huddled in masses, they started having to learn to work together. Food was now done in farms where the community would help raise the farms. People would help build buildings where people could live. Raising and educating and living was starting to become a communal effort. From this, we have the rise of the cottage industry. Now, the cottage industry is really nothing more than the barter system. The barter system existed because of excess. Excess in the sense of, if I am a furniture maker and I made a chair and had the ability to make a chair, and I now make 2 chairs. Well, I don't need 2 chairs, but I need a pig, and the farmer next door had the pig. I could trade him or barter my chair for his pig. He then in turn would have a chair to sit on, and I would have food to last me for quite a while. This is the beginning of our exchange of goods and services. The next step in this evolution is the Industrial Revolution. But the Industrial Revolution transformed us into an income society. And as an income society, we now have lost our need and, in some cases, our ability to be self-sufficient. But the positive of being an income society is that you get to choose. You had the power to choose the things you wanted to do because everything was on a money basis. You could go buy what you needed. No longer was food just simply sustenance that you need to have to survive. How many of us have ever said, tonight I want Mexican food or Italian or Chinese. C, income allows us to choose what we want. Same with our clothing. We didn't just have to have clothing just to keep warm. We could choose nice looking clothing, stylish clothing, sports clothing, anything we wanted. You could live anywhere you wanted. Why? Because you have an income. Now, this new freedom, that is income, is derived from having a job. And having a job means that you have a salary. Oftentimes, as a job, as an employee, that also allows you to have vacation time and sick leave and other things, but still, it's a monetary exchange of that you have from your work to what you have the ability to receive. That is income. Our society focuses on income production. We have vocations and even avocations that teach how to make an income, how to get a job, how to increase that cash, how to invest it. But you know what's missing in our society? We don't talk about what do we do if we lose that ability? What do we do if we lose that ability to earn our income and keep that cash flow taking place? Enter insurance. Now, I want you to think about this. Pardon me. We have always believed in insurance. We have just never formally called it insurance until more recent times. Long ago, we were a hunting and gathering society, and a hunter who had a broken arm and couldn't go out and hunt was not cast aside and sent away. Their arm was taken care of, and they were still fed and given shelter. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the first form of disability insurance. Long ago, we were an agricultural society. Now, if the cow in my barn knocked over the lantern and burnt down my barn, my neighbors would come together and help me to rebuild my barn. Why would they do that? Because they know that I, as one of the neighbors, would help them rebuild their barn should the same thing happen to them. But you see, today, most people don't know how to build a barn. But we're still able to participate as a community by putting money into an insurance pool. That is, by paying a premium. And should my cow knock over the lantern and burn down my barn today, we can reach into that pool and hire someone who knows how to build the barn. That is what insurance is. Income is needed to make all of this happen. But now we have a new problem on our hand. We have a choice. We now have to spend money or we die. We must have cash flow in order for life to exist the way we know it today. Now, the beauty of having insurance, whether it's disability insurance, medical insurance, whatever, insurance reduces the risk that we have with everyday living. You see, thanks to insurance, a child's future can be guaranteed should mom and dad pass away early. Our medical care can be taken care of, guaranteed, thanks to medical insurance. Our elders can be taken care of even if we can't help them because of different issues that take place. That we call long-term care, guaranteed. Our possessions can be replaced or repaired thanks to property insurance, guaranteed. And our bills and our living expenses and our food and our shelter can be taken care of should we be disabled, guaranteed, thanks to insurance. You need to remember, folks, that financial planning, or whatever you wish to call it, begins with income planning. And you can't have income planning without protecting the income first and foremost. You see, income planning is the basis of all other forms of insurance and our lifestyle. So as you can see, the Pilgrim story is a very basic, very simple, yet very important story to tell your clients. It is the story of how we in America have to have our income in order to thrive. So who is going to tell the American public about this 21st century Pilgrim story? You are, the professional insurance advisors out there. If nothing else from today, remember this. From the beginning, no one promised us anything other than the right to try. Financial dependency allows more freedom, but this comes with risk. And the insurance products that we have available for them reduces or could eliminate the risks, which allow us to reach our full potential. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to enjoy the rest of the conference, and we look forward to seeing you in person next year. Thank you.